Diane, our educator. I'm Noelle. This is our beautiful model, Jamie. So we are featuring our new hair extensions, which require no glue, no tape, no sewing. And as you can see, we didn't style her hair today, but we're going to show you all these attachments and how they work, the ease of removal. And you've worn keratin extensions before? And what is your experience like
So
in
I
hair?
absolutely love these. They just feel so light, and I feel they just, I don't know, I just love them.
Yeah.
I'll continue to go back to them. I feel like they're easy to maintain. You can brush them so um, nicely. They're like smooth. They're just awesome.
So what's so cool about these is there's really nothing in the market quite like this. They're a mix, I would say, between tape and hand-tied extensions, but with tape hair, so much messy removal. And today you're going to see how easy these are to apply, how easy they are to remove, as well as you're going to realize that your client's hair is number one, and you are not going to be damaging your client's hair. So we're going to go over what they look like, how they go in, how they go out, and we're also going to discuss, obviously, the quality of the hair, some of the colors we offer, and we're going to go through how you can find us, which is VeilaHairExtensions.com. And if you sign up today, oh, it sounds rough. Sound is rough. I apologize. Um, I'll try to get a little closer. But if you sign up today, you will get free certification. So all you have to do is go on VeilaHairExtensions.com. Sound is no good. Oh boy, I don't know why that is. How about if I raise it? Is that better? Can someone let me know if that's better? Um, Sound is rough. It's muffled for a second. How about now? Can you give me a thumbs up? I'm hoping that the sound is good. We did plan to use a different way of doing this, but no. Does that mean the sound's not good? Okay, so we'll speak louder, okay? Because I think it was good and then it's not. Okay. Well, that always makes things really fun. Can you see? That should be better. Better. Perfect. Okay, so here's the beautiful Jamie, and I'm going to just show her. And she is wearing our new Veila hair extensions. So, Diane, what we're going to do while we have some people coming in, thank you, Tony. I see that it's good now. Thank you. What we're going to first do is Diane is going to show you how these actually look. And if you need me closer. Okay. So, what these extensions look like is they're all done similarly to tape on a skin weft, okay? And we'll show you the placement. Now, we put these in how long ago, Jamie? We put them in probably about 2 weeks ago. So they're going to grow down with your own hair. And they're made of virgin Remy hair. And what they do is, instead of a tape application or sewing, we do utilize beads. And we offer the micro beads in different sizes because that's the way to really get the beads hidden under the extension. So let's show you what it looks like under the extension. Now, as I said, these were put in a couple weeks ago. And most people, I'm going to get close on that, most people get about maybe 6, 8 weeks, probably 8 weeks. But if your hair grows faster, you may get less. If your hair grows slower, you may get more. But they're totally reusable, and it's really just a simple attachment method. So let's go through from the bottom. And we're going to show you. So our Veila hair extensions come in two sizes. They're going to come in 1¼ inch piece. So remember, it's VeilaHairExtensions.com. So we have 1¼ inch piece, and then as you saw previously, these are 2¾ inch pieces. We utilize the 1¼ inch pieces for areas just above the nape of the neck. We like to use the bigger sections where there's more hair density around the occipital bone. And we also use the smaller pieces on the sides of the hair so you can pull them back. And they are smaller, although it may be hard to detect. They are smaller than tape. Those are 1¼ inch. So what we carry, our packs are per 50 grams. And what we do is in the packages, we have 6 small pieces and we have 2 large pieces. Now, the average person would require 1 to 2 packs, but it really depends on the thickness of their hair. So what Jamie has is 100 grams and they're 2 packs. And I'm going to have Aurora show you what comes in 1 pack. So why don't you grab the packs? And we do have an array of colors. And just keep in mind, everybody, if you want to be certified as of today, I'm always here. My name's Noelle. This is Aurora. We're all here. And you can always reach out anytime with questions. So, you want me to bring them on camera? That's Aurora.
Hi.
And this is Diane.
Hi.
And this is the beautiful Jamie. So we already put Jamie's hair extensions in 2 weeks ago, but we wanted to give you an idea of how they grow. We wanted to give you an idea of what it's going to take to also determine how much hair to buy. And if you go on Veila, V-E-I-L-A, hairextensions.com, and just subscribe, make sure you put in your email address and make sure you put in your name, salon name, the name you want the certification to go in, then I will send that out to you within a week. So Aurora, let's see what we have. So this is what you're going to get. This is color number 61. The lighting may be a little more difficult to show, but this is lightest bunny blonde. And if you what you get in this pack, if you open the pack, let me go back to this. Actually, there is a pack open. What you get. Beaded wefts in. Yeah, you know what? That is really true. Hand-tied beaded wefts, not only are they difficult, Rachel, to keep in the hair, but what happens is there's so much tension. Let's face it, the hand-tied method, it's antiquated in the sense that, and it's not that we don't do them, because I own a hair salon, so we do these methods, but what happens is when you switch people over to this, there's not as much shedding that gets trapped in the extension. You don't have to cut it away, and the beads are completely hidden. And in a second, after we show you what you get, I do want to go in and actually remove and replace, and you're going to see how simple it is. Okay, so here's Aurora again. So these 2 pieces are the smaller, well, there's actually 6 of them. They're smaller pieces, and they're 1¼ inches. So you get 6 of those. Those should go around the nape of the neck. Those should go above in the crown area. If somebody has, some thicker hair, you may want to put them in the crown. And they definitely work well on the sides, placing them slightly back so they can put their hair up. Much easier than tape because tape will twist. The way we work these and put these in, they do not twist. I love them, but they just won't stay. I'm constantly having to redo them. You should definitely, Rachel, send her to Veila, V-E-I-L-A, hairextensions.com, because we're going to go back and show you how we do these extensions. And just to let you know, once again, this is the larger pieces, but we don't do them. So what the problem is with hand-tied is they go around the head completely. Bring them on camera. So they go around the head completely. You have to have sections. And they should be slightly away from the scalp. And this is what we do. We put them slightly away from the scalp. So you're going to get 2 of those, which are 2.75 inches. And then you're going to get 6 1.25 inch. And if you check out our website, we have all different colors. I can help you match them. There's videos. I can send you more detailed information as well. But what I want to do right now is I want to go back to Diane. We did not style her hair. This is color 1860. We don't want to go full tape-ins because we both have gastric sleeve and are careful about hair care. Yeah, well, you know, taping can also be a little difficult, especially the removals. It's really, really messy. So Diane, let's go down. So these have been in, as I said, for about a week. I'm going to have Aurora go over with you to get to the other side. Let's go down to the front row, so by the nape. So what we do is we start at the nape of the neck with the smaller sections. And we're going to take a few out. And you can see how they've been wearing. They stay completely straight. If you've worn any other type of extension, you know that other than maybe individual strands, you know they're going to twist. These are done in such a fashion that they're not going to twist on you. Okay, so let's take some of these, or you can do 1, 2. We're going to focus in right here. So this is the 1.25 inch section. You can use pliers. We do have other tools on our site, and we're getting more in. But with pliers, we generally just open the bead by going the opposite way. So why don't you open that bead? I'm going to go right on it. Bead. Pull that down. You open another bead. Get that down. And here's the part that's the best. Right out of her hair. And, you know, after a certain amount of time, of course you're going to get shedding. She's not at that point after 2 weeks. Can we grab a swatch? We do have everything pictured online, but if you do carry these, we can certainly get swatches and colorings for you. So now let's do a nice clean section. So you can see this is just above the nape of the neck, allowing for coverage there. So we're going to do a nice clean section, and Diane's going to place that in. So what happens is when you look at let's look at that. You're going to open this up, and it's really soft. It's not what tape is made of. So it's never, these extensions, this area is not going to break down. It's not what tape is made of. Tape, if you keep retaping, you know that it's going to break down over time. So now you really want to get a clean section in. Remember, go to VeilaHairExtensions.com. Just subscribe. I'll make sure you get a certification. We welcome any questions, but what I'm going to do right now is show you the ease of application. So once you get that nice clean section, you're going to put the holes of the extensions. Let me show you where they are. We're putting this back in her hair. You're going to put the holes pretty much right below the parting. So if you lift this up, they're right below the parting. Now it's very important to, using your crochet hook, and we have these on our website also, it's very important to pull through enough of the client's hair. And don't be afraid to go back in. And if you don't want to pull from the side, pull from down and up and down and up. Okay, so once you've got those 4 sections pulled through, just a disclaimer, we have 2 sizes of beads, and they are also on our site. These are the smaller sections of beads, smaller size beads for smaller sections. And then, of course, we have larger size beads for the larger pieces. But what I want you to keep in mind is it also goes by the density of someone's hair and what you're going to pull through. Because if you pull through thicker hair. And these can be on any type of hair, whether it's curly, relaxed. You just want to make sure that the bead you use is going to be supportive enough on the client's hair. So we're going to use, on Jamie, we're going to use the smaller ones. And Diane is going to show you. I mean, it's a simple thread through, which I'm sure mostly everybody who's worked with extensions are familiar with the pull through method, with the, beaded methods. So you're going to take the two on each corner, thread in. His hand is there, sorry. That's okay. Thread that bead right in. Don't be afraid where that bead lands, because what'll happen is you can always pick it up. See how she picked it up? And you want that bead pressing right against the seam, And you really do have to really scrunch down hard, because don't forget, there's no hair in there. There's no client hair in there. So you're solely relying upon the client's hair to support these. That's why it's essential to put in enough of their hair. So then once you get that section in, you go right back with these smaller beads. And you're just going to thread it. And this is not like hand-tied hair where you have to put a series of these beads right on the scalp, and you're just going straight across the head. I've been doing extensions for 25 years. When you do one section around the head, don't forget, our hair grows differently throughout the whole area of our head. So let's close that up. And it's just too much tension. That's why you have to keep redoing. So here you go. Here is a 1 1/4 inch section just above the nape of the neck. This is in color 1860, which is an ash and lightest blonde. And the beads are protected right in there. So yes, you can brush right through. You do need to educate your clients as to how to work with these. I always tell my clients, it's more important you brush, and if something comes loose, come back in. It's just a simple redo versus not brushing. But that's pretty clear for most extensions. People just are afraid to brush. So it's essential to brush, because our own hair sheds over 100 strands per day. And you don't want to get into a situation where there's a lot of matting. So now we're going to go to the larger section, which is pretty similar in the way we remove. And I mean, I can put these on and off, and I actually did Jamie's hair, and I think, Jamie, how long did it take us? About an hour, I think, was the application. Can the extensions be colored? Absolutely. Most extensions that have good quality can be colored. I prefer to try to match perfectly to a client's hair, but if you tone with just a semi-permanent color, if the hair is good quality, which these do come from a virgin Remy source, then you're okay. You can definitely tone them. Particularly blondes. Sometimes you really have to tone blondes, or you have to, if someone has a unique red hair or even a natural red head, you may have to do something with them as well. So now, let's go in and show you what is under the larger section, which is, as I said, I like to put the larger sections where there's more hair density, and this is right around the occipital bone. And you can see these have been in for 2 weeks, and you can see they're still intact. The whole thing will just grow down with her hair, but what's really essential with the bigger pieces is we over direct and we put a small bead on the corner. So that's really essential. So let me just show you. So she still has a good amount of hair in that after 2 weeks. So Diane is going to go ahead and remove that, so you can see the removal process. I have another tool coming. It's not quite on the site, but I'm going to show you. I love this tool. The one I have coming in is going to be slightly smaller, but for me, I don't know. Ever since I started doing microlink extensions, even before our Veila, I've been using this tool. Have you been using it, Diane?
No.
Aurora's been using it, so we'll have Aurora take it out. I mean, I think it's a really cool tool. We do have some icy blonde colors coming in. We love the ombre. And if you end up as a salon utilizing these extensions, which I hope you do because, you know, it's a passion of ours. It's not just about money. We did not mark these up tremendously high. But what you'll realize is you're just doing your client a much better service. And think about it. Look at how easy that was to just come out. Now think about the fact of if you had tape, if you had any other type of extension, there is no way that it would come out that easy. You have one from another brand? You have these from another brand? Because I have not seen these. Rachel. Bring them on camera. Okay, so Aurora's going to do the redo. So sometimes after maybe around 10 weeks or so, we'll just take them all out and put them in. And obviously you have to keep track, just like tape hair or any type of hair that's reusable, you keep track of them. But sometimes what we do, bring them on camera. When you say bring them on camera, you want to actually see what they look like? Okay, so here you go. That's what this, so they're folded in half, and Aurora just opened it, and she's placing it slightly below the parting. So what happens is slightly below the parting allows for them to not have too much tension. Anytime you put something too close to a scalp, if you've worn extensions, even clip-ins, you know that that's going to be very painful. So I'm going to slide over, and here is Aurora. She's going to pull through. Pull through the center first if you'd like. Oh, Elizabeth Johnson, we would love for you. Just go on Veila Hair Extensions, V-E-I-L-A, hairextensions.com, and just sign up. You don't have to even buy anything. I'll send you certification. So here you go. You're going through and just pulling through these areas, making sure you take enough hair. It's essential. So that's why I told you it's so important to pull through enough hair, but you're only supporting a 2.75-inch piece, but that doesn't matter. You need enough hair. So what we do is I like to go right in where Aurora is going and get that, secure the middle sections, and then we're going to, are you using a bigger bead, Aurora,
Yes.
or a smaller? So Aurora's using the bigger bead. You could use a smaller bead. You'll see them. Do you have programs, investment levels? Yes, what we do is, first of all, if you're just going to start buying and just trying them, just sign up for rewards. If you use code V, like Veila, 10 upon checkout, you're going to get 10% off automatically. So that's really important. You can get some great deals there. So see how she's closing right up against the top. Now with these corners, in order to prevent the area from sliding, you're going to over direct. She's going to over direct. I think I need to get it because I'm reading, so it's hard for me to see. What she did is she grabbed a little bit from the corner of the hair, over direct that all the way in. Just like when you start out with the hand tied, you know how you over direct them? Are you using the smaller bead, or I like the smaller beads on the side? Yeah, really over direct. So you're gonna really over direct this area so that you make sure that your bead is underneath. And I like to use on the corners, on finer hair, I like to use the smaller bead. The bead is really tiny, they're silicone lined. And I have to tell you, I have switched so many people. I started out doing keratin extensions 25 years ago. That was pretty much the only ones that were out. We were like cutting off tracts of hair and gluing them together. And then of course tape hair, it certainly does have its place. What do you charge for full service? So what I do give to our, so we do have pricing online, and just so you know, nobody purchases online without being a hair salon. They're all hair salons, so those prices, we tried to go rock bottom for this quality of hair. So in our salon, we get between, for a full head, which most people who want length and volume, we charge $850 to $1,000. Some people $1,200, depending on the color. The over-directed section, level with the extensions or a little above. You know, you can be pretty much level or a little above if you really, as long as you know that you're not like going way too high. Because if you're coming like up in this area, that would be a problem. But you can be a little bit above that area. So yes, we charge, obviously, like anybody. It depends on the area you live in. It's going to depend on the color, because lighter shades, and this is called piano, this is a two-tone shade. These are more expensive. I do have icy coming in, icy blonde, which is absolutely beautiful. Let me show you, Diane, let's see, where was that other package of, I want to show you the ombres. We have a lot of beautiful ombre colors too. Or maybe we have the ombres. They're online. I didn't bring out an ombre. So now, does anybody have any questions? We can take it on and off again, but just remember, you know, it's so important to consult with your clients and ask them, you know, what type of extensions they've worked with. And how I got a lot of my clients to get into these was by especially, the most easy conversions are people who've had tape hair or people who've had hand-tied hair. Let's go up and show them what we have up here. And what I do is I just put one or two in. You know, I was buying, you know, I would just have, and we manufacture these, I would just have, you know, some dark colors on hand, some two-tone blondes that's going to match a lot of highlighted heads. We have the tea, which is a balayaged color. So I would just say, let me just put in a few of these, and I'll tell you, especially like our tape people, once they saw them come out, they were in shock. In reference to your pricing, we're located in Boston. So let's say you bought 50 grams of our hair, and you got some darker shade, and you paid $141, then you got 10% off. What you would then do is, you know, you can mark up your hair if you want to, or you can price it just for service. It really is going to be dependent upon you. The maintenance is, I'm going to discuss maintenance a little further, but the maintenance is pretty much the same as any application. It's just a redo. Obviously, there's not going to be a hair charge again. So you're just gonna go by the hour. A lot of salons that I know of, in urban areas, they charge about $110 to $150 for redos per hour, whereas some of our people out in the Midwest, they would definitely charge less. Location does matter for sure. We're in Boston, yes, we are. So I want to show you again. So this is growth for about, okay, October 31st. So her hair grew a little bit, but you can see what's so vastly important is when you put this in on the seam, that you place it down a little bit, because that way it's not going to be pulling on her hair. There's not all sorts of tension. And simple, clean partings are essential. So now I'm going to have Diane go in. We're going to take one down again. Yep. And we'll show you once again. And I want you to really move quick, Diane, on it, just like you would do a regular service. So let's say Jamie's here. She comes in. We just open up those beads. I just want you to see that it can be really super simple. So remember, it's VeilaHairExtensions.com. The pull-through technique. There you go. That's what she has. Now let's comb that out so you can see the area is normal, neat. Actually, there's just very little shedding. I realize it hasn't been on for too long, but if something's improperly applied, then you'd get more shedding. But it's virtually impossible to apply these wrong. But once again, we're gonna go in, and we're just gonna go in with a clean section.
Sorry.
And we're gonna start the process again. Remember, if you want to have certification today, in conjunction with Beauty Launchpad, if you go on Veila hairextensions.com, Veila hair extensions with an S.com, we will definitely just send you out certification because and samples. I mean, if samples are limited, but whoever signs up and needs a sample, just put it on a mannequin. Does the hair on the top of the tab go all the way up for a seamless transition? Yes, it does have, it does come up somewhat. Yes. Now, here we're going to do the larger beads
In the middle.
for the middle sections. And then, Aurora, I want you to start curling. I want you to see how beautiful of a curl they take. And she's just going to, if it's just pull that right up, clamp it closed very well against, if you have to do it a couple times, just clamp that right against the seam. Remember, hair quality is so important, especially with reusable hair. Reusable hair is which is any type from tape to eye tips or eye lengths. And you need to have good quality that's not going to shut out. And the way these are made, this is actually a silk polyurethane. It is not what tape is made of. I want to get that corner again, just in case people were questioning that corner. So you take from that side area, and you want to over-direct the hair. You don't see how much she's over-directed that hair, and you're going to use the smaller beads, Di?
Yes.
She's going to use a smaller bead, over-directing it, so that it. And the reason why we want to do that is we want the bead protected underneath the flap. A full head, for me at this point, I've been using them for a long time. This is 100 grams, which are 2 packages. This took me an hour. And I want to show you the sides as well, because the sides are so important. Is it the same time frame to move up? Oh no, it's much quicker move up. Much quicker. I mean, you literally will take that extension down, the way we've shown you, and we're going to go right back in again. If we do a color, which as you know, a lot of us extensionists, we're doing color too. So in some cases, we'll do the color, we'll take them all out, do the color, and put them back in. Of course, like any other reusable extension, we're going to keep note of where they were all placed. Over direct that well, and we just close it. But you can see that bigger section is going to really, it's going to be quick to put in. So, no, I mean after the initial install. Yeah, because, well, you're going to have to do a removal. So let's say we're going to do another removal for you. Let's say tape extensions, you have to remove the tape, you have to clean them, you have to retape. None of that's going to happen here. And what I want to stress is what I couldn't stand about tape or even hand-tied tracks is what would happen with the track itself or with the tape. You couldn't reuse them, and then the clients were upset. So we try to make this really, really affordable. So here we go. So like I said, if you just pay attention to that, just go the opposite way, open your bead, and there's no messy cleanup. A full head is about an hour for 100 grams of hair. But most people who want length, and most people take between 50 to 100 grams for a full head. So if you do individual extensions at 1 gram, let's say you do fusion, that would be the equivalent of 100 fusion extensions, which we all know, even the most seasoned stylist is going to take at least 3 hours to put in individual strands. And, you know, there's a place for individual strands. And I'm the type of person that I say, okay, we have these. They may not be for everybody. But for someone who likes their tape and someone who's committed to doing the hand-tied method, this is going to be much better for them. They're going to save money. They're going to get more longevity. And honestly, I've had people reuse them for up to a year. Now, that means they didn't go cranking through them. They were careful in the way they took care of them. And that's all in what we educate people with. How you go home, and you don't want to pull on it. It's just like any other extension. You want to be, people have to be conscientious of how they care for them. But I always tell people, please brush. That's like always an issue. But I did want to explain another thing. So let's say I have a client who comes in and their hair's clean and they're on a budget. What I do is I'll just go in, take down each section one by one, pretty much how we've been showing, and reapply each section. So, that's going to make it so much more affordable, because today people want extensions. So it's so important to be able to offer everything, and some people take longer to apply, while others may not. I do want to show the sides of the hair while she's putting those in, because I think everybody's pretty much has the idea. So this is the side of Jamie's hair. We only put in, you round the corner. We've rounded the corner here. And then we put in one, or can you lift these up? Two. 1, 2, 3. I think she has 3 in right now. Some people with thicker density at the top of the head, closer to the scalp, could probably use to have one more in. So, these definitely can be reused. Now, I just want to talk texture to you. They go in, you're going to get them in a straight. They're going to be straight when they come in. Bring them on camera. Okay. They're going to be straight when let me go back to Diane. When they go in, they're going to be straight. But once they're washed, they actually have like just a subtle wave. Now, we don't have all textures in yet, and, right now we're working on that. But this is a subtle wave, which does work for most hair, or hair that's blown out. But the curl, and I think anybody who's worked with good quality extensions, the curl that they have is amazing. Aurora, can you grab a piece? I want to just go over the type of extensions and what it means, because there's so many people out there talking about what's the quality. Well, you know what? Quality of extensions, you have to realize, if you get extensions, let's say, and I don't want to knock Amazon, but let's say you go to Amazon and you get extensions, they may have now that's just one 1 1/4 piece, and we sell 22 inches. They may have very awful skimpy ends, which these do not, and you can clearly see here on our model. So what happens is you will also see them full of shine. They're almost like doll hair, and when you see that kind of doll hair look, well, then you know that once that silicone infusion is off, then you're going to have a lot of matting, and that's one thing. And then, of course, I'm going to have you brush through and start styling. Then, of course, we have the what's called Remy hair. And Remy hair, unfortunately, in this industry, there's no real standard of hair extensions. I mean, you're just kind of going on faith and trying to buy from a source like ours that we've done a lot of investigating and making sure that we keep up with the quality of our hair. But Remy hair simply means that it was cut off the donor's head in the same direction that it grew in. And a lot of people just don't understand that. So Aurora's going to do with, what is that, a 2-inch iron? She's just going to curl these with that's 1.5 inches. She's just curling that with a 1.5 inch iron. Does anybody have any questions? I'd love to be able to answer them for you. Diane, did you find the ombre? Yeah. So it's VeilaHairExtensions.com. See, when you curl them, just curl them in sections. Aurora is the master of curling, master of extensions. They hold a beautiful curl. sometimes before I curl them, I'll give it a little spray, but just take vertical slice sections, and obviously the bigger the section you take, the the larger the curl if you want more of a beachy wave. So, as I said, these are definitely really, we sell a lot to Europe, which is really cool. Yes, we're always looking for educators. We do have a system of, what we do is every monthly or bi-monthly, we do Zoom trainings, which is similar to this, but I do like to have people who have the extensions in hand so they can do the training while we train. But obviously, it's a little tough now because we don't have them. But I can always send them if you sign up. Rachel, just email me if you want to get a hold of me directly. It's Noelle at noellesalon.com. If anybody's had a chance to look at VeilaHairExtensions.com, you can see the colors. We do offer other methods too, because I am just so elated with this hair, and it took so long to get this type of hair. Now, do you see Aurora's going in a different direction there for that curl pattern? It's so much fun that you can do that. So I think everybody pretty much has an understanding of how they work. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody that's with us here? Jamie, let's talk to you again. So you've worn the keratin, which is individual strands. And we do have keratin here at Noelle Salon. We have our own brand. But what happens is, keratin is tough on fine hair.
Yeah, I feel as if I have more hair with this, and the maintenance of it is just so nice. I feel like it's so light, even though I have more hair as well. I absolutely love them, and I'll continue to get them every single time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you've done very well with them for the past 2 weeks.
Like I said,
they weren't hard to brush through or anything.
No, not at all.
And yes, do we offer bulk sales? Absolutely. If you are interested in doing a purchase over $1,000, you will get a coloring, and you will get, obviously, the more you buy, the better, and you will get a discount to what you commit to. If you simply can't do that and you go on VeilaHairExtensions.com, you sign up for our rewards. You will also get automatic rewards. And if you put in V10 right now, you're going to get 10% off of the extensions. So that's a great way to try them. Even if you buy one pack, try them on your own hair. Thank you, Tony. We really appreciate that. Thank you. But yes, bulk sales, distributorship, there's so much available today, especially in this market. I mean, a lot of us are working hard during COVID, and, being able to share your information and educate with other stylists and salons, it's just so important. And we all really need to stick together because God knows it's a tough industry. So let me show you what Diane has here. These are 616. Now this is a very popular color. No, that's not actually 616. Yes, it is. Sorry. We have 661 too, which is beautiful. So 616 has a little bit of a golden hue. Yes, and what it is it has the ombre, as they call them, which it goes from a nice, pretty neutral brown down to a beautiful, warmer shade of blonde, which that's color 16. So yeah, you can do so much with the colors. Like when you buy 50 grams, just think of, you could even implement this color on certain areas. If let's say Jamie had a balayage, we could use some of that. We could use that with a balayage. We chose this color because it really matched her hair better. But if she had more of a rooted look with lighter ends, that color would work beautifully. We do have every color really imaginable too, that you can mix and match. Sometimes
Purple wash on
yeah, Yeah, this is
You
color
found the purple.
61. I know it looks a little, in this light in our salon, but all of these chandeliers, it looks a little bit yellowy, but it's not. Probably online you'll see the better.
But you could do a purple wash.
Yeah, and you know what, purple wash, back to the fact that, yes, you know what, sometimes you have to tone. Some people tone their own hair, and then they'll come in with hair that's virtually silver. And yes, even our silvery extensions aren't going to be silver enough. So you can, you know, definitely, when you're working with good quality hair, you can tone and sometimes make darker, but you never, ever want to bleach your extensions, because I just have to tell you, they're not colored in the same way you think. They're not colored with regular conventional hair dye or bleaching. They are decolorized, and they're decolorized with a solution that's probably the equivalent of like a Coca-Cola, that it's a slow process. And then Diane knows, because she's visited many factories. And Diane, what do? They end up using what, like what type of dye is put on these extensions?
Like a
Fabric dye?
The fabric dye.
Yeah, like a
yes.
Rick
The
fabric dye.
Yes, especially for the darker colors. So you
Yeah.
definitely don't want to lift them with bleach.
No.
You can tone the blondes and you can go darker, but never ever use bleach.
She toned
because
hers.
You,
Yeah.
yeah, I did tone mine, and you ruin the integrity of the hair.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely.
Definitely will. You will
Yeah.
definitely ruin. And if you want these to last and get that year out of them that I mentioned, there are people who have, and Aurora has them in. So Aurora has them in a longer. This is, Aurora, you have, I think this is color 4. This is color 4. I'm going to flip it on me. You can tone and sometimes darken the, oh yes, okay. So I'm going to let you see, basically it would be like trying to remove splat. And we all know how that goes. So mine, oh my gosh, I don't even know what color I have in, but let's show my extensions. You're going to have to flip it around. So my hair, oh my gosh, I mean, I don't know. So my color, I do a lot of deep layers with this. I don't know what it looks like from behind Diane.
You have the piano.
I have a piano in
Yep,
here?
you have the piano
So
color.
piano means two-tone. Which piano do I have, though? Oh, goodness. I don't even know what color I did. But you can...
Yeah, you did the 60, and you have a couple of different ones in.
Oh,
So you have the darker ones down here.
Oh, I have fun.
Lighter,
Yeah.
yep.
So this...
So we do a blend
So
of
this
different
one,
colors.
my hair, I just really layer it up, and this is 1 pack of 50. This is 1 pack of 50, and I don't, you know, because I feel as I get older anyway, I like to have a lighter look, you know, and I'll do the curls and everything, but as you see with Aurora, she has beautiful hair. And now we're going to have our gorgeous model stand up. I'm going to just turn this around. Now, let's see. So here you go. So this was her with the, let's hold up the 1860. This is 1860 color, which that is actually the color that Aurora is holding up. If you turn around, Jamie, let's see the back. Look at that. Look at the back of that. That's just a really subtle, beachy wave. You can do tighter waves. There's just so many, you know, there's so many different looks you can create. But as you can see, it does hold a real beautiful wave. Or you can do them straight, or you can cut layers. We offer so much training, and today all of our training is done via Zoom. And, you know, we thank Beauty Launchpad because they've really helped us. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Rachel. They really helped us to launch all our brand. And I definitely want you to understand, we're here to make a difference, to give hair extensions a good name, because they're not getting the greatest name, especially, so let's think about this. When you're young and you have a ton of hair, you know, you go in and you put in a lot of hand-tied tracks. And you know something? It's gorgeous and it's beautiful, but eventually by the time you're a little bit older and your hair is a little more compromised, you're never gonna have that. It's going to do permanent damage. It's called traction alopecia. And you know, you don't want traction alopecia. So let me have the ladies go up next to us. What time is it? Does anybody have any other questions before we sign out? I want to get everybody in. Does anybody have any other questions? So remember, to sign up, VeilaHairExtensions.com. We will definitely send you certification, personalized certification. We can send samples as much as we have. It's going to be by what's available, and bring them on camera. Okay, beautiful Jamie, our lovely model. That's Aurora. She's one of our stylists, and she is also, I hope it's going to be replayed, she is also a master at extensions, and she educates. And this is also a world-renowned educator, Diane. Diane has been working with hair extensions as long as I have. So, you know, we're kind of, you know, we're the seniors of this whole thing. But let me tell you, we know our stuff. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't say senior citizens. We're just seniors. No. I hope you sign up. I want to thank you all. Thank you all for joining. This is Noelle Salon with the 1,000,001 Chandeliers. And we created Veila, and we hope that you sign up at VeilaHairExtensions.com. Here's the girls. You're going to love them. We're here for you. And thank you. Signing off.